And so the story begins. Our channel will start with topic of ether. Ether is mystical element and the key to unlocking secrets to free energy and universal power. Also, it is source of energy that runs through unique essence of life force energy that flows through universe and most of existence. Ether is also known as fifth element. Known elements are fire, water, earth, wind, and ether. There are 4 ethers: red, yellow, blue, and purple. Red is a binding biological force. Yellow makes things visible and it is upright force in plants and animals. Blue structures development of phenomena and purple unifies an object and its environment. Mythologically, gods breathe ether like humans breathe air. Also, it was force used by gods to create universe. In the late 19th century, physicists postulated that ether permeated all throughout space, providing a medium through which light could travel in a vacuum. But evidence for the presence of such a medium was not found in the Michelson-Morley experiment, and this result has been interpreted as meaning that no such luminiferous ether exists. The ether is considered a universal medium consisting of a primary substance, attenuated beyond conception, which fills all space and connects all matter. This medium, or field of force, is responsible for action at a distance, a concept where an object can interact with other objects even though they are separated in space. This idea still baffles today's physicists, but was understood by Nikola Tesla long before Albert Einstein coined his spooky action at a distance. It wasn't until 1896 when Tesla finally obtained experimental proof of the ether. He invented a new form of vacuum tube which could be charged to any high potential and operated with pressures up to 4 million volts. In 1929, Tesla spoke of these vacuum tubes saying, "One of the first striking observations made with my tubes was that a purplish glow for several feet around the end of the tube was formed, and I readily ascertained that it was due to the escape of the charges of the particles as soon as they passed out into the air, for it was only in a nearly perfect vacuum that these charges could be confined to them." The coronal discharge proved that there must be a medium besides air in the space, composed of particles immeasurably smaller than those of air, as otherwise such a discharge would not be possible. On further investigation, I found that this gas was so light that a volume equal to that of the Earth would weigh only about 1/20th of a pound. According to Nikola Tesla's ether theory, all matter in the universe is metamorphosed from the ether. When the ether is set in motion, it becomes gross matter. All matter, then, is merely ether in motion. In summary, Tesla experimented and proved his theories using the scientific method. His methods were far more superior to other physicists of his time, because he had the motors and transformers invented by himself to help with his experiments. These include the induction motor, his Tesla coil, and many more apparatuses. In the future, the ether may be referred to as dark matter, the force, etc., but Nikola Tesla's ether theory will be proven true in years to come. More recently, the spirit of ether has even come back into the discussion of the cosmos, thanks to the mysterious discoveries of dark matter and dark energy, the elusive force believed to be the cause of the accelerating expansion of the universe. It's not hard to see the parallels between the ether of yore used to fill in the gaps of understanding and this new invisible, imponderable energy. In fact, a form of dark energy proposed by physicists in the 1980s was dubbed quintessence after the fifth element of antiquity. The new quintessence has been described as a fifth fundamental force, after the 4 conventional forces of nature known to physics: gravitational, electromagnetic, strong nuclear, and weak nuclear forces. Dark matter and dark energy can't be readily explained by any known theories of physics, which is leading scientists to consider whether there is another, yet unknown force. Might as well call it ether. A medium of great elasticity and extreme tenuity, once supposed to pervade all space, the interior of solid bodies not accepted, and to be the medium of transmission of light and heat, hence often called luminiferous ether. It is no longer believed that such a medium is required for the transmission of electromagnetic waves. The modern use of the term is mostly a figurative term for empty space, or for literary effect, and not intended to imply the actual existence of a physical medium. However, Modern cosmological theories based on quantum field theory do not rule out the possibility that the inherent energy of the vacuum is greater than zero, in which case the concept of an ether pervading the vacuum may have more than metaphoric meaning. Material existence is based on just 4 or 5 specific dimensions: mass, charge, length, frequency, and possibly sphericity. The presence of 4 or 5 specific dimensions, however, suggests that even these dimensions have a common source. Moreover, if the dimensions pre-exist time and space, they must come from a source that shares that timeless and spaceless nature. Ether behaves like a solid, fluid, and gas all at once. Because the ether constructs from reciprocal mass, it is the ability to manifest reality. If there is nothing denser moving through a region of ether, it will move with the densest system closest to it. For example, magnetic, electrostatic, and gravitational forces hold our galaxy together. The ether of the galaxy moves as a whole. Within the galaxy are solar system and dust clouds. Each of these objects are more dense than the galaxy as a whole and influence the ether local to these objects. From the view of the ether physics model, it would appear that health of a body is due in part to the proper flow of ether through and around it. This ether flow can replenish our body through deep breathing, walking, driving, or bathing in ether-conditioned water. Moving from the stability of earth, through the flow of water, the passion of fire, and lightness of air, we reach the element that makes everything else possible: ether or space. Ether is both nothing and everything at the same time. It's stillness, yet it's the very thing that makes all movement and life possible. Referred to as Akasha in Sanskrit, ether is the element that comes first in yogic and Ayurvedic thinking. Ether is without the firmness of earth, the coolness of water, the heat of fire, or even the movement of wind. It is therefore the very essence of emptiness. The space element is the most subtle of all elements. Within our bodies we can recognize the space element literally anywhere there is space: the sinus cavities that allow for our voices to resonate, the space in the lungs that fills with air, and space in the stomach before a meal. Ether and the throat chakra. The space element is directly connected to the throat chakra or Vishuddha, place of purification. The throat chakra is located at the base of the throat, along with the larynx or voice box. It is intimately linked to our ability to speak and be heard, but also our ability to truly listen. The throat chakra is very much about self-expression, speaking honestly and openly, and knowing that our voice matters. The throat chakra is often a place where energy becomes blocked, especially if we were repeatedly told to be quiet as a child. Blockages in the throat chakra may manifest in our being overly shy or experiencing chronic throat soreness. We may also be afraid to sing in public and feel as though we have to hold back from expressing ourselves fully. To encourage more energy flow throughout this vital space, it's important to practice speaking the truth. Expressing your emotions to someone you trust, singing and chanting are all beneficial. As is caring for your throat with herbs like thyme and licorice, and good quality honey. Practices to connect to the ether element. Touch, awareness of space. Many practices like somatics, body scan meditations and guided relaxation focus on feeling sensations within the physical body. However, we can shift our state of mind by shifting our focus away from physicality, onto aspects we can't feel. To become more aware of your connection to the space element, first tune into the qualities present in your body: warmth, coolness, heaviness, lightness, movement and stillness. Taste, bitter. Ayurvedic texts explain how each taste is linked to a different element. The bitter taste is the only taste with a link to the ether element. Sight, light. When we get enough sunlight at the optimum times of day, mood, digestion, and sleep all improve. Try to get outside as early as possible, or head out for a walk between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Smell, sage smudging. Sound, raise your vibration. To encourage a sense of love and compassion, search online for songs and sounds played at 528 Hz. For a better night's sleep, theta sound waves can be helpful. If you need to focus, try binaural beats that contain 14 Hz, which can enhance memory and concentration. We came to the end of our video about fascinating topic of ether. Hope that you have enjoyed. Thanks for watching and see you soon with more interesting topics.